Procreate 5 is now available on the App Store. Welcome to Stayf Drawers. I'm Stayf, a Dutch illustrator and animator, and I have been testing Procreate 5 beta, and I've made several videos about them, and I'll leave links in the description box down below. I made a video about how to use the color and the color harmonies in Procreate 5. Also made a video about the new brush studio and also how you can make custom brushes in the new brush studio. And on Saturday I will do a video that's more toward using animation assist in the new timeline in Procreate 5. But I'm just going to start up Procreate 5, and some things have changed from the Procreate 5 beta, and I'm just going to go over all the new features. When you start out with Procreate, you begin with the gallery, and some things have changed in the gallery, but in general it still looks the same. But there's a difference when you create a new file. Now you have to press on the little icon on the right side with the plus in it, and then you get a new menu. And what's new in Procreate 5 is the way you make a custom canvas. The dimensions are still the same, so I'm just gonna make a new canvas 1920 by 1080, and just gonna make it at 300 dpi. When you go to the color profile, you see that there is a difference. Now you have color profiles, so you can choose between display P3 and there's some other sRGB profiles. But the great new feature in Procreate 5 is CMYK, and when you work in print, this is a big deal because screens are different than when you work in print, because the colors are limited, because they're made of CMYK, and these are just 4 colors. And when you're used to working in CMYK, you find some interesting profiles. By default it's set to generic CMYK, and there's some other CMYK profiles you can work with. What's new is the time-lapse settings. You could use those for all of the videos you want to shoot, because when you draw something in Procreate, it automatically records everything. And here you can choose for each canvas how you want to record your strokes. So there's 1080, 2K, 4K, and you can choose between low quality, good quality, studio quality, lossless, and HEVC. And only difference is that it's now within a new canvas you make, which is great. So it doesn't apply to everything you draw in Procreate. Then there's the canvas properties, and here you can change the background color, or you can toggle on the background hidden if you want to make an animation or have an object you're drawing. You can, by default make it that the background is hidden, so you can save your files with a transparent background. When you hit create, you start out as usual. There are some other differences in the actions panel, and I'm just going to go over animation assist, and I'm just going to open up a little animation I did that's of Horace Hippo. I will explain more about animation assist in the next video. I'm just going to show you what's new with the animation assist. So when you open actions and then toggle on animation assist, a new timeline will appear, and I just made this animation. Great thing about animation assist that it now has onion skinning, which is great if you're an animator. Now you can change the settings to onion skin frames, and you can set them up to the max frames, and you can also change the opacity of your onion skin. and also you can choose color secondary frames. And this is great if you're doing an animation, so that you can color the image that's before and the image that's after. So if you're doing an in-between for animation, you know where you are. And you still can change it with a one shot. You can change it to loop, so the animation will loop automatically. And another great feature is because when you want to hold frames in Procreate 4.3, you just had to duplicate the frames. Now there's a setting when you tap on the image, you can change the hold duration. And you can duplicate it and delete it. But when you choose hold duration, you can choose the amount of frames you want to hold the frame. And it won't add up in your layers. So if you have a limited kind of layers, you can just use the hold feature in the animation assist. One of the great new features in Procreate 5 is the new brush studio, and I already made a video about it, a general video, and I'll leave a link in the description box down below. Also made a video about how to make a new brush, and in one of those videos I showed you the exclusive brushes, and they're not in Procreate 5 because these were all test brushes, so people could test them out. But when you open up the new brush menu, you see that there are some new brushes, and I already showed them in the other video. So there's Peppermint, Derwent, Procreate Pencil, and they're all scattered around the brush sets in Procreate 5. There are some new brushes for inking, and there's a whole new category which is called drawing. And these are some really interesting brushes you can use. What you now can do when you open up a new brush, you can see that some of the brushes are made up of two brushes. And one of the great new features in Procreate 5 is color dynamics. And with color dynamics, you can make brushes which have different kind of colors selected to them. And in the Color Dynamics tab, you can change all of these things. There's also a change in how the Layers panel works, because it used to be that it had different kind of categories, and now you just have to scroll through all the categories. So in the middle is normal, and when you want to set a layer to multiply, you have to scroll up, and here you see multiply. And these are all the same things, or the same blend modes you have in Photoshop. So these are some of the new features in Procreate 5, and you can really test out all the great new brushes. I think this is a very big update for Procreate, and you know, to me it's still the best drawing and painting app in the App Store. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell, because each time I upload a new video, you get a notification. Drawing is fun and practice makes perfect. See you next time. Doodles!